Hello, hello. So welcome to this video where I'm going to be building a modern website. I think we're going to be building something like this. The main thing about this is that we want to do this particles background because it's a modern take on something very cool, and I think it should be used in modern websites. I just think it looks really cool, and there's a lot of different ways that you can use this. You can get something like this or something like this. There's a lot of ways. So let's check it out and try to get it going. First of all, I've opened a new folder. In this folder we're going to be... Just see, I have some stuff open here. Let me just close this. This also. In this one I'm just going to create my next application. So it just says for next, create next step or something. What we're going to do is type this npx create next app at latest. We press yes. What should the project be named? It's just say modern website. No big letters. Modern website. No, we don't use TypeScript. And yes, we do this. This is for Tailwind. We're going to be using TailwindCSS for this project. Because I just think it's really easy to use, and yeah, it's just pretty smart also. Let's use it. But you can of course use whatever CSS framework you want to. I'm just a huge fan of Tailwind. So what we want to do this. npm the Tailwind CSS post CSS auto prefixer. We do npx Tailwind CSS init p. Oh, this is wrong. We delete this again. And we want to see the inside of the modern website folder where we are going to be putting this. And then we are going to be putting this. Okay, so what we want to do now is go to our Tailwind config and put this inside of the content. Just like this. What we do here is we say that we want to include the Tailwind CSS in all of our pages and all of our components. And also we go to our styles, globals, we delete everything. We say Tailwind base, Tailwind utilities, and Tailwind components. And that's pretty much it. Let's test if it's working. We go here, we can pretty much delete everything. Let's just keep this. Let's just do an h1 and then say hey, and then say class name, and then bg black. We want to start the application. We do this by saying npm run dev. We go to localhost and to see if it's running. Pretty sure it's running. Yes. And up here we have the hey that we just put in, so it's running now. And CSS Tailwind is working. We can delete this again because we're not going to be using it. We want to, as I mentioned, we want to create something like this. So we up here we have the navbar, we have a header, we have some, let's call it features, we have some support, and then some images down here. So let's start. We can say we want to do a navbar. We want to do a header. We want to do features. We want to do support. I think we're going to be starting with the header because it's pretty simple. And we want this parallax background so we can get started with something cool. So what we do is we type like this, header, and we did not create this file yet, so we go to modern website, we say components, and we create the header.js. Inside of this I have this snippet. I can show you here in my extension, ES7 React Redux native snippets. I really highly recommend to install this because it's really smart when creating new files and folders. Just close this, save this. So I say React functional component, type enter, and here we have the header. It's really simple. So now we have the header, we want to import it. Let's just type it for now, header from components, header. Can't spell, I guess. So now let's go to our, yes, you see here that we have the header component that we just created. Right now it only says header, which is this. We want to delete this also because it was creating some padding for our header. So let's take a look at this again. What do we want? We want this parallax background, we want something in the middle, and we also want this button right here and some text. I just want really quick to look at my old. Yeah. I think we start by creating the actual, let's just go to this one again. And say something like margin top, I guess. Margin top 24, margin bottom 24. Let's create another div. We want our header in here. We want text to be 3XL. We also want to do something about this. We can say that the margin of the x-axis is automatic. We want max width to be 2XL. We want some padding of y for 16. Something like this. Just center it. Say pi 20. Something like this, 6, and then when for the large screen we can say 8. So now we don't have anything, but that's fine. Let's create some spans. We want 2 because we want this one to be its own text and this to be another text. I think that's the smartest way of doing it. I don't know, you can do it in a lot of ways, but this is just really easy. So let's just type in something here, boost your productivity. Let's just type the same, boost your productivity, and start using our app today. Let's go to this. You see now it's not what we want, but it's close. We can go into this and say that the font is bold. We want the tracking to be tight. we want it, we can keep the text this color for now. And we say that for the small screen, the text should be 4 XL. Let's edit in these bands. Let's make it blocks. Oh, that's it black. But this is good, I guess. Push your productivity, create blah blah blah. Yes, that's perfect. So let's see, what do we want now? We want this and the button. The background, I think we're just going to place it right here. Let's just type for now. Let's just say something like particle background, so that we know where to put it. We want to create a paragraph. We're just going to put some lorem ipsum in here, so let's just go here, lorem ipsum generator. I think there's an extension for this, but I'm just going to use this right now because I'm lazy. We put it in here. See how this looks, that's fine. We say the margin top is class name. Margin top of 4. The text should be large. We want leading of 6, and then let's just make the text, we can just keep it black for now, I guess. So this is good. So under this we want to create this get started link. I think we can close these. We want to create this link. It's just a simple bottom, and when we hover it, there's some background on it. I'm sorry if I'm going a bit fast, but I have a lot of windows open. Let me just get some. I have some cola here. Perfect. We go to this P, we want to do a link. We can close it and then get started in here. So this is going to be our button, this get started. We can say ref, nothing right now, and then give it a class name, margin top 8, inline flex, which should be full. Rounded. We can give it a border. Let's say that the border is transparent. Let's make the beach indigo 200 for now. Let's give it some padding on the x-axis. Let's say 5. Let's give it some of the above also. Yes, that's perfect. We say text base. Make the font medium. Yeah, let's keep it like this for now. Let me clean this. It's a bit big. Let me just check. PX5. I think this is good. I think this is good. We can keep it like this for now, and then we can always change it later if we think it's annoying when we get the inline flex with full item sender, justify sender, rounded medium, border transparent, PG indigo. Yes, this is good. Let's keep it like this for now. This is nice. We can also do something like hover, indigo, BG, indigo. Let's make it 200 instead. That's the same color. 400. So now when I hover it, we get this different color. So let's keep it simple and just stick to this for now. So this is our header. Now we want this parallax background, this particle background that we have in this. What we're going to be using is this TsParticles. And since we're using React, we can go to this. Okay, sure. Yeah, we go to this. And what we want to do is say npm install React particles. Actually, yeah, let's just try. So I open another terminal and I just copy paste this in. I think I also have to install something else. Let's say npm install React TsParticles and also TsParticles. Like this. Yes, that's good. So now we can go to our packages just JSON and see. Oh, I didn't install them. It's in the wrong folder. CD modern website. So inside of this, first of all, we put this. We put this. And React TsParticles also. So now we have these three. I think this is fine. Yeah, let's stick with this for now and see if that's good. Perfect. We can close this. Also close this terminal so we don't get confused. So now we go to this Particles website. We can choose whatever background we want. I'm going to be using this one, the colors one. So what I do is I export this. And I can show you here. This is the file that I got from exporting it. So I go to something like JSON beautifier or something because I want to beautify the scope before I can use it in my own. CSV, this one is good. Oh, not this one, this one. So we copy everything here. And we put it in here. And we remove this we don't want quotes. So now we can copy this code, copy to clipboard, and we can just close this. Let me just see how I saved it. We create a new folder called config, and inside of config we create particles / config.js, and we just put everything in that this is not everything. First we say const particles config and then open it like this, and then in here we paste everything that we just copied from the JSON file that we got from the TsParticles website. So you put everything in. Oh, it's a stupid error. Let me just see what I have here. Declaration of statement. We want to export this also. But I don't think that's the problem. Perfect, like this. So this is good. So now we have this JSON file that contains everything from the Particles website. So pretty much you can use this website to create whatever thing you want. That's just really many configs, so you have to read up on it. I'm not going to tell everything about it, but hopefully someone will learn it, and yeah, you can pretty much just copy whatever thing people use. It's really smart though. We close this. We don't need this again. We can just stay on this. So make sure to save this and go back to our components and create something called Particles background.js. So in this file we want to do some different things. We're going to be using callbacks. So import this hook, use callback from React. We want to load full from TsParticles. Yes. We want to use particles from React Particles. Like this. We want to use the folder thing that we just created, particles config, this one. And that's pretty much it. I think we can also just import React. So first let's just create the callback function for our particles background. So what we do here is we say particle background equal to it's a function, and we want a response from this, so we do it like this. We say const particles init or something. Yeah, that's good. And then use callback. This is a bit weird, guys, but it's a really smart way of doing it, because you don't really have to do much afterwards. Let's just lock this for now, because I can get confused also. So what do we have now? We have the end. Let's just close this. Let's see, and then we want to await this load full from the engine. I think we have to make sure to close this. I'm missing I have some syntax error. I'm missing one of my I'm missing this one. This goes here. This goes here. Async. Oh, I don't need this. Particle background. Const particles in it. We have some live debugging right now because I somehow can't find this. Oh, I need one more of these. Let's just put it here. That's fine. Perfect. So far so good. We want to do the actual particles, so we say const particles loaded. We want to use the callback as an async function inside of a container. We say await console container. We want to console log this because sometimes we get some errors that we don't want to handle right now. Let's just do something like this again. And then we want to return. We want to return a div with the ID of particle background. We go here and say particles. And inside of particles, we want to pass some parameters. We want to say that the ID is TsParticles. We want the particles loaded to be particles. Particles loaded. Let me just copy this in. It's just something that it's the same for everyone, so you can just put it in like I do here. Could not find particles config. Particles config. Particles config. Okay, it's with the small letters. Let's just make it a big P, so it's the same. So let's see here, we just do it like this. And then I have another. See, like this, perfect. We don't want, yeah, we can do it, it's fine, this is good. So if we do it like this, I'm pretty sure we can just put in our particles here directly into our header. So if we say background, particles background, and then do it like this, let's see what it says. Perfect, here we have it. So far so good. See if I remove this. We want to make this text white maybe. And this can be like this. And this text can be indigo 100, 200. I think this is a bit too much. Let's remove this background. It's just white. But this is cool. And let's make this indigo only 200 also, so it matches the above. This is nice. Yeah, this is nice. It's pretty similar. The background is pretty cool also. And what you can do is you can actually go into the config, this file, and read on the TsParticles documentation and find out, or you can just like change this. But this colors is pretty cool, so I'll just stick to it. I don't really like this hover mouse thing, but I think we're going to keep it for now because it's just it's pretty cool. So yeah, we keep it for now. So what do we want now? We want to create something like this. Let's call it features, yeah. We go into our components and we say features.js. We say rc. And let's just say features now. We go back to this. We import the features component that we just created. Let's see what it says here. Here's the features. We can close everything. Go to the features and say just make it full and bgy. We want to have some value in here. Oh, we can see it. Let's say let's create a div. Let's say inside of this div, we want to make it text sender. We can move this up. It's black. So let's say text black. Let's say text 3XL, and let's say font semi-bold or bold, maybe that's better. We want a margin top of 10 for, not on this one, we want, let's give it some padding instead, padding top 4 and bottom of 10. I think this is pretty good. Let's say lots of experience, lots more than 100 happy customers. 100 plus maybe, that's cool. Happy partners or something. So we can create another div here. Let's see, it goes down here, so we can say something like grid. We want it to be a grid because that's the way that these are created, as grids. We can say grid calls of 4. Grid, or maybe, let's see, if I make it smaller, it goes down to 2. So let's say grid calls of 2. And then on medium screen, oh, that's 1. On large screen, maybe we can say grid calls of 4. I think that's what we do here also. Oh, it goes to 3 also. Medium, grid calls of 3. We want this text to be centered also. I'll just close that, that was pretty stupid. Oh, that's a mistake. So this is good. So what we do now is we create these different logos that are going to be in here. What I'm going to do is, I think we're just going to find some, unless I can find some links. I think I have an image here. You can use image. Let's say source, like this. And let's see what it says. That's the Airbnb logo, that's perfect. We want to make another div here because we want to give it some padding. That's sort of the class name, P4 MX auto. Perfect, that's good. So what we can do now is pretty much just copy this and find some other logos, but let's just create 4 Airbnbs for now. When we go small, we go down to 2. And when we go big, we go to this 6, 7, 8. What does this do when it goes small? Oh, that's too much. So like this. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to find some other logos. I just have links from Tailwind, but you guys can just use anything, whatever you want. These are just simple SVGs. Well, that's really big. That's not what it's meant to be. I think we can fix this by saying in here with 23. Not on the Airbnb logo. On this one, of course. Perfect. Just delete some of these again. And let's just copy some other logos in. I have a few ready here. But you guys can use whatever you want. So these are, that's 4, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to copy these 4 so you guys get the idea of what I'm trying to do. And that's pretty much, that's the most important thing. I'm pretty sure this also scales. Yeah, so that's good. This is actually looking really nice. I think now we're going to be making the nav bar. I think I think this is done. I think this is nice. The features. What we can do is maybe we can put some margin bottom of some padding bottom of 10. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we can save this and go to the next component. I guess we can create the nav bar. We can follow along. I'm just doing simple stuff. What? Nav bar. Okay. That's the nav bar. So for now, I don't think we're going to be creating a nav bar that goes small when we close it. But I think we can create a nav bar. I think we can just take something from Tailwind because that's pretty much the easiest way of doing it. So let's go to CSS Tailwind. There's no reason to invent the wheel again, but we already have a lot of free stuff to be using. So what I do here is I go to... I want to find some nav bars. And I just take whatever one I want. I think we're going to be using a white one for this one. We just take this one. This one. Yes, this is good. So what I do, I just pretty much just copy everything. I just put it into my nav bar component. In my opinion, it's just easier to edit code than actually write it when we have so much code available for us. So why not just use something that Tailwind is providing? We need to install this hero icon. I think it's just something like this. I actually can't remember. I need to install this as perfect. So as you can see here, we actually have a functional nav bar, and what we can do is just change in the code where we want to link it to and whatever we want. So there's actually no reason for us to invent this when we have everything available. For now, we can just change this image. Just delete it. And save it like this. What's the problem? Okay. Okay, I installed everything in the wrong place again. So I go cd modern website. And I again install these because I fucked up. That's really bad. npm install headless UI React. Let's see what it says now. So this is good, perfect. So we just keep it like this. This is pretty good. Now we want to create the support component. Maybe we can do something else because it's pretty simple. Let's see. Let's close this. I think we're just going to create something similar. So we say support. Let's create the component. RFC. Save this, import the support component that we just created, and see if it comes here. It's right here. We can delete this. We can say we want to make it full width, and we want to make the background the same color as this. I'm not sure. It's just black. Okay. So let's just make the background black. But we can make the text white for now, so we can actually see what's going on. So here it is. Let's see how this scales. It goes small, and these goes in the grid. So that's pretty good. I think what we're going to do is actually create another div here, and we can say this grid is the header, so we just say support. Let's just do h1 because that's the right way of doing it. We say class name, text 3xl, text white, delete this text white. And we can give it some padding, of course, over here. We want to make this even bigger, and we want to make it bold, font bold. Perfect. So let's create a paragraph here. Let's just copy some lorem ipsum, paste it in. Let's say class name, let's give it a padding of 4 also. And then we can say width, then it's only the half width. Let's make it wide also. This is really small, so let's just say text to Excel. Say something like this instead, maybe that's better. And let's give it some more of this. This one can take maybe padding left 8 and then padding top of 4. Perfect. I think this is cool. So let's see if I go small. It just stays like this, which is actually also pretty cool. Let's just give it some margin button so we can actually see what we're working on. I can't remember these values sometimes, it's just annoying. This is good. So what do we have? We have these 3 cards. Usually what you should do is create another component that holds these cards, so you don't have to create a component for each of these. But for now we're just going to create these cards manually. Or not manually, I think we're going to be using ManTime. So to get started with ManTime, it's just ManTime npm. I can't remember the name exactly. It's just npm install ManTime core, and then inside of ManTime, let's search for something like card. Let's see these cards. What do we want? We want something simple. I'm pretty sure they have something polymorph. We're just going to take this card. It's pretty cool. So we go into our component. We can create another div. Inside of this div, we want to say that it's a grid, and that grid calls 1, and for medium or large screens, it have grid calls of 3. Let's see how this scales though. Maybe it's 2 first. No, it goes to 1 and then it goes to 3. Yeah, so this is good. We copy in the card. We need to import everything. Let's just go to ManTime and just copy this also. See how this looks. There's the card. We want each of these cards to be inside a div, because we want to give the card some padding. Like this. That's good. So we just copy this div and just make 3 of them. So this is how it's going to look. And then we go to the small screen, it's just a long content instead of the small one. And here it just looks like this. Maybe we can change this background to the same we have here, because the other one is really ugly. So we go to our support component. We go up in the top here, we say background, and then instead of doing the standard thing, we just do something like this. And now we have this. We delete this margin also. Instead we can do some padding bottom. Just give it 10, and we can give it some padding top. Maybe also 10. So this is pretty cool. These cards you can just change the images, the height. You can change the link. Where's the link? Yeah, right now it's just a button, but you can just change it to a link with a ref instead, and then you can use it as a simple link. So the end here, I think we're just going to be creating a footer. This is pretty much, it's just an image, and then on the other side is just some text. An easy way to do this is just by putting a grid, and then saying on the left grid we have an image, and on the right grid we have some text. I think that's pretty simple from what we just did. So I hope this is something that you will do yourself. But we can do the footer, even though it's also pretty simple. I go to component, I create the footer. I go RFC, footer, I import this. From the component. Close this for now. So now we have this footer down here. We want to say that the class name background should be white. What we can actually do here is also just take something from Tailwind, because they have everything created. So there's actually no reason to create a footer when we just can take one that's already pretty useful. I will make the source code available for everyone, so if you want to check this, you can just go and copy my code. Otherwise, if you want me to make it more, let's just do this one. This is pretty good. So here we have it. That's pretty nice, because Tailwind just allows us to copy this code, and this code, I hopefully everyone understands that we have the footer with the background inside. We do some styling, and in here we map these items that we have in our navigation. These items being these social links, and then we have some text, and that's pretty much it. And inside of these you can just change, for example, we have Facebook, which we can actually just write in there in our ref, right here. We can just say the link to our Facebook channel, so that we can link directly to our own Facebook channel. It's really smart. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for now. I'll just leave this for a second, so you guys can see it. We have this particle background, which I think is the most important part of this video. It's actually really simple to use when you just get the hang of it, and yeah, it just looks so cool. If you want to remove this stuff or just change in it, I can just give a quick example. I'm not the best at this, but I had to play around with it to figure out how to actually do it. There's, for example, this let's see, trail. Oh, it's not it. Here's the particles. Okay, yeah, you can just play around with this and check everything. It's a bit complicated because there's so many different things you can do, but you can just go to the website, TsParticles. Oops, that's not the website. And just play around with everything. You can also get something like this. It's actually pretty cool. This is by far, these particles, I think it looks really cool. There's also some tunnel, some stars, some Among Us. I don't know why they have this, but it's cool. So yeah, hopefully you guys will like this. Thank you for tuning in. I will upload this to YouTube, and yeah, see you.